Welcome to the UK Makers Podcast, episode 6. I'm James.
I'm Rosie.
And I'm Matt.
Welcome back to another one, another week, another podcast. It's probably Monday for you. For us, it is Thursday the 10th, and we are recording this a little bit earlier than we usually do. And tonight, or today, or this morning, depending on who, where, and where you are, we're going to be answering your questions. So I think we should all jump into it. Does that sound all right, Rosie, Matt?
Yeah.
No.
And there's been quite a few. So we've filtered down some of them because you people on Instagram are very naughty, some of you. We won't be naming names, but you know who you are. We try and keep it clean, but Rosie does defecate on the cleanness sometimes. So we are going to start off by the first question, which is from Ephil is backwards, and it is: how do you balance work time and hobby time? And I'm pointing it at Matt.
Ooh.
That's what we're starting at. So that is, how do you balance work time and hobby time?
Well, for me, work's one thing. So in case, obviously I go to the office when I'm working from home. Yes, it is a struggle because my home office is in my workshop. But I'm quite fortunate. My very understanding wife lets me have 3 nights a week in the workshop, which I know by a few of my buddies who have got workshops and so on. They very rarely get that much time in their workshops throughout the week. But
And
Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Yeah, that's and weekends is family time. That's the rule.
Yeah,
General.
I try and sneak out there when I get the chance, but yeah, generally weekends is family time. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, but I think that's good. It's hard. I would say, Matt, you've got big commitments.
Yes.
You've got commitments for sure. And I know it's easy for some. It's quite easy for me. Rosie, what about you? You're a dog father.
Yeah, but I'm at college 5 days a week and then I work the weekend, so I never have time. It's sad.
She walks into the shed and goes, "Oh, I'm just too fucking tired," and then walks
Pretty much,
straight back out again.
I start something for I do something for half an hour, and then I'm like, it's because it's Scotland, it's fucking freezing, so everything's cold to touch, and I'm cold, and then everything's just cold, so I end up going inside. And plus, for the last 2 weeks, we've had 8 mile per hour winds, and we've had snow today. It's been pissing down. It's not ideal weather to be going out into a shed that I built myself. Do I trust my building skills? Absolutely not. Imagine if I opened that door and the whole thing was just a kite.
Yeah, but then you could, claim on insurance and say, my brick-built shed fell over and it's going to cost lots of money to rebuild. And they'll go, take this money, Rosie. And then you just build an even bigger workshop.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I don't have insurance. So
okay.
That's that. Out the window.
Fucking, just very quickly on house insurance. How?
Tangent number 1.
I'm sorry, Rosie. Yeah, I know we're already off track already. But I've just renewed our home insurance and I couldn't really give a shit about the house. Talk workshop to me, Mr. Insurance person on the phone. And they're like, why do you want to insure your garage? Have you got a classic car in there? No. I've got, a lot of tools. Are you a tradesperson? Not really. Not anymore. Oh. Is it building materials? Not really. No. Is it agricultural equipment? Not really. No. I'd like a tractor, maybe. I don't know if anyone else has found that, but trying to explain to people kind of what you do, and then you tell them, I've got some machines. I like making, bits and bobs, restoring other machines, and then doing.
I like to make purses.
Yeah, purses. Yeah. I like to make card holders, actually. Actually, business card holders, so they sound
I have
much
to
more
admit that the business hut card holder looked very, very swanky. With the, did you
It's very nice.
waterpress that around the edge of it?
What do you mean?
So, you know where you've got the form?
Did you soak it?
Yeah, soak it and then form it.
I with my leather. For those who's listening, I've recently purchased a Singer 29K Patcher leatherworking machine. I soaked this one, which I'm just holding up to the camera now. My Leatherman Wave, and I remade the case because the case that it comes with is really good from Leatherman. It's really good, but the strap on the back is a bit shite. And we're mentioning water soaking, which you can you literally soak it in water, ram like a positive in there to then create a fixed or molded shape of your leather. So the answer to your question, Rosie and Matt, is yes. I did soak this, but the business card holder that I made did not, because it's a different type of leather. It's not that's a veg tan, and that is another part of the leather. And I'm going to say other because I don't know. I don't know. But this is like baby soft leather. It's like really nice, and this is like, a cow's testicle feel. It's very rough. It's almost chewable. It's almost. It's a bit like beef jerky, but beef testicle turkey, jerky turkey, not turkey.
Word salad.
Yeah, word salad there.
to go with your beef testicle.
Yeah, if a cow impregnated a chicken and it had testicles, that's what it would feel like. So just for clarification. Where were we going with this?
Well, you were having a conversation about home insurance, but I think the original. What was the original question?
Oh yeah. Work-life balance. Okay, I'm gonna unrail this podcast and get back to it. So, work-life balance. Yeah, it's very difficult. I do have a job, and I have roughly at the minute around 6 hours tops in the workshop. Weekends at the minute is, if the missus is away, sounds awful, but it's fucking lovely. Oh, do you want to go and see your mates tonight, love? Yeah, you do that. And then I'm there, like creeping into the shed, and you're pulling the bolt back on the shed, and you're taking off the padlock, and you hear the click, and you slide that lock out of the little hole, and then your fucking phone rings. I've got a flat tire, or I'm coming home early, and you're like, yes, great, I love you, yes. So then you're like, shit, she's going to be back in 20 minutes, and there's shit everywhere in the house. There's pants, I've not made the bed, she's gone out in the morning, there's fucking mugs on plates, on spoons.
I was going to say, and you've offered, don't worry about that, I'll do the dishes tonight, love, when you're going out, that's fine, I'll do the dishes.
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. Hoovering, have a nice day. Have a lovely day. Yeah, and then, you've never seen a man move as quick. Yeah. When the missus is driving home and you can hear the gates, opening, she's here.
Then you're putting all the dirty plates straight in the bin thinking, fuck it, I can buy new ones, it's fine. It's just down the road.
Next day. What do you want to have for tea tonight, love? Cereal? We've got bowls now. We haven't got any plates. Let's have cereal. No, I say that nastily. I have a very, very understanding partner. That is very, very supportive. But sometimes I just like locking the shed from the inside. That's all I'm going to say. And the beautiful thing is I get terrible phone signal in my workshop. And
sorry, love. I did. You just couldn't get through.
Shit, I've got 5G. That means bad. Yeah, really bad.
Don't lie. You've got out there with 2 saucepans and you just put your phone inside them.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Your Faraday's
cage around it in an asbestos condom bag thing that you can buy. Yeah.
I couldn't answer the phone, love, because of fear for my health.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's fine. It's fine. We're not worried about it. So yeah, I find it difficult. So what I am doing at the minute is I have seasonal things of when I make things. I know it sounds really knobby. I wood turn in the summer because I like to wood turn outside. So hence why I've got wood turning equipment that has got wheels on it. So I drag it out. I make a shitload of mess. I use a leaf blower and fuck it off into the neighbour's garden. It's the easiest way to clean that. Hamster's got out. That must be it. Yeah, got a hamster with all these wood shavings. Yeah, he's mental, that little bastard. So yeah, that is what I have seasonal things. So wood turning is typically in the summertime, and then kind of spring and autumn I do metalworking and fabrication stuff, and then winter is more like restoration projects, I'd say. And if it's really cold, I buy indoor hobbies, as in like a leatherworking machine. So yeah, that's kind of what I do. But I'm a bit all over the place at the minute, to be honest. So yeah, 6 hours roughly is what I get at the minute, and I
Is that
use
a day
them widely.
or
No, a week. I'd say 6 hours a week is when.
okay?
The problem I find is that you'll notice a lot of my projects are kind of either long projects or like quick flips, is what I call them. You know, I like to do either long stuff or like an hour or 2 or 3 hour projects, you know, combined. I've avoided YouTube restoration projects now because, as Rosie knows, they take so long. And what I was finding, you know, people don't really want to see you restoring a 10mm spanner or something. What I tend to find is that more complicated machines and stuff, they wanted to see more of that type of thing and really fucked up vices.
Yeah.
And the problem that you kind of get is that they take up a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I've done some professional recording with a film crew that came earlier this year to do like some restoration videos, and they were really nice people. And they had like they had 3 camera people and 1 director, and they had no fucking clue. Like they were like, shit, is this how long it actually takes to restore shit? I'm like, yeah. So the whole day we basically restored 1 hammer, you know, a face, reground it, made a shaft out of olive hardwood and all sorts. And it's like, yeah, we can't. This is not this is not cost effective to do this. I'm like, yeah, okay. So yeah, very difficult. It was a lot of fun.
Sounds like a decent learning curve as well.
Yeah.
It was like full on, you know, stop, play, and I'll send you. I was the repairman for a little bit. It was internet. It was working for On the Tools. So you know,
Yeah.
on the On the Tools. So they've got like millions and millions of people. The problem with it is they're all fucking tradespeople. So when we're like restoring a hammer or a wood plane, they're like, just fucking buy a new one, you dickhead. You know, they didn't really understand the. Some people just don't get restorations. It's an old tool, you know.
Yeah.
Chuck it in the bin, or someone's grandma or something. You know, that's you know
the whole sort of Gillette idea of it's knackered. Throw it, bin it, get a new one. Yeah,
I've picked up like perfectly workable tools out of fucking scrap bins at work. You know, like why are you throwing this away? Oh well, you know, it's fucked.
There'll be a TLC and you can bring it back. Right.
Yeah.
Next question. What we got?
Sorry. Moving on. Very professional. Episode 6. We really have got the hang of this. You know, we really have got the hack of this. So next one is Dr. Jonathan. Who is a great supporter of my channel, and on a personal note, thank you very much for the ongoing support over the last 3-4 years. Actually, he's been there from day one, pretty much.
Wow.
Which is Jackleg693 is your Instagram. I don't know if I should be sharing people's. Is that wrong? Should I be doing this?
Well, if it gets some more followers.
Yeah, no, but a lot of my people, yeah, they don't really. Anyway, right, I'm sorry, Dr. Jonathan, if shout at me later. The question is, and this is going out to Rosie to start with, which is, one piece of advice would you give a new maker? A new maker. So someone who is new to making things. And I am going to say these questions are not pre-thought. I thought it'd be more interesting if I just kind of shotgun them in the face of Rosie and Matt.
Well, I would say do research so you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Basically. You didn't want to start something and you're like, how do I do this? How was it originally, sort of thing? You know, how do I use this sort of thing? Like a lathe or something. Do your research on how to do stuff. Read a book. Maybe.
Read a what?
Watch a YouTube video.
Watch a YouTube video. Or read a book.
A book?
A book.
A book. Oh, right, yeah, a book.
Read a fucking book.
I used to work with a guy called a book. Yeah, lovely bloke. Yeah. Well, genuinely, a lovely bloke, actually. A lovely bloke. Yeah. Yeah. A book. Anyway, Matt.
Yes.
I'm a new maker. I want advice. What are you going to give me?
Don't be afraid to fail.
Yeah, that's a good one. I wish I had got that.
Don't be afraid to fail.
Yeah, I like that.
Because I can tell you the first... So when I was a kid, I think one of the early projects that I made was a sword, 2 bits of 1/4 by 1 bits of pine, and you bolt them together. And admittedly, and this was my grandfather being wonderfully supportive. He knew exactly what was going to happen when I built it the way that I built it, but he let me carry on anyway because it was the learning curve of doing it. Basically, I made 2. So whether you've got the sword and the hilt, and you've got the cross bit, I basically made a really bad, uneven lap joint between the 2. So naturally, then, when I was sword fighting with a tree, I hit the tree, snapped the sword right at the hilt, and the blade came around and smacked me in the head. And then he goes, "Oh no, do you want to go make another one?" I was like, "Yeah," even though I was a bit upset that I'd broken my first one. But admittedly, I wasn't quite so keen. It broke. I was all of 26 at the time.
26.
Wait, what?
No, I think genuinely, I was about. I think it was 6, 5 or 6.
24.
And then 24. Yeah, 24. And a little bit of cajoling, and basically, my grandfather was like, "Come on, let's go make another one. How about we try it this way?" And we ended up doing a much better join that was, the pieces of wood were thicker and so on and blah, blah, blah. So it was actually a lot more of a stable joint, and we ended up doweling it and so on, making proper job. And
proper job.
I think that sword is still in my grandfather's workshop. Well, garage.
Yeah. So you've been into knife crime for a long time now, Matt.
Well, down in the southwest, this is the only way to get by.
Yeah, every farmer's got a katana.
Exactly.
Every one of them. Yeah, and that's interesting. Everyone likes playing with the swords down in the southwest. Yeah, a lot of sword play. A lot of sword play. I'm going to say, and I have pre-thought about this a little bit, and I would say surround yourself with good people. And when I don't know how to work, I don't want to offend anybody. Not that I really give a shite, but
Shite.
I
don't give a shite.
Give a shit. What?
It's just when you say things like this, we just know something's going to come out. Not that I give a shit. Boom, drops a bomb.
Yeah. I know it's fine.
Don't talk to this person. He's a knob.
Yeah, absolute cockwomble. Yeah, absolute cock. No, I would say surround yourself by good people, and you always kind of know. Forums and Facebook and watching like posts from years. I do quite a varied amount of things. I would class myself as a bit of a dolly mix kind of maker, really. I'm not very good at anything, but I do quite a lot of shit. that is how I kind of tackle
And
myself.
nobody likes licorice.
Nobody likes licorice. No, absolutely. So
You're the licorice.
I am the licorice. I am that special edition Marmite that you see on the shelf that no fucker wants to try. Because who
I love
wants
Marmite.
Yeah, you love Marmite, not special edition. Oh, here's Marmite with Jaffa cakes in it. No one's going to try that. No one's going to try that. I'm
just going to say this. Tangent number 2.
Right,
Oh, yeah, it's like, I seen Marmite peanut butter. I like them both separately, right?
They should be shot.
But
Marmite peanut butter.
Together, no.
Ah, excellent. Yeah. So I'd say surround yourself by good people. And where I'm going with this is that just because somebody shows you or tells you or, has made a pretty YouTube video about it, doesn't mean they're necessarily right. I'm not going to give examples, but if you are...
Rosie's Restoration.
Yeah.
No, I know what you're saying. So, case in point I did the mic build, and it wasn't particularly successful. It's not particularly. I was shooting for the mic to be plus or minus 10 microns in accuracy, the most, and it's 30 microns. It's quite a fair bit over what I was hoping for. Tell the guys at work, and you could literally split the room. Other half are like, "Oh yeah, no, it was fair play. At least you have a go." And now might need to change your design. Other group of people saying, "Call yourself a fucking machinist."
Yeah, and all they do at home is they watch Coronation Street with the missus and wear a football.
I was going to say, I would have gave them a swift volley to the fucking face if that was me.
With a brick.
So I'm taking my sword into work next week.
Yeah, thank you for rounding that up. But yeah, I would say my best advice is just surround yourself by good people. Wood turning, for example, I made a shitload of mistakes starting off because you watch YouTube videos and sponsored by overpriced fucking thing. And you think, wow, that overpriced fucking thing looks amazing. I'm going to go on Amazon and order that overpriced fucking thing. Ah, excellent. Next day it's coming. Oh my God, that is an overpriced fucking thing. So then you think, oh, okay. And then you watch another YouTube video with some other person who's got, a bit of followers and all that type of thing. He looks like he's know what he's doing. And then you buy another, expensive, and then you buy it. And it just doesn't work. And there's no right or way thing of doing anything. But what I would say, find something that does kind of work for you and don't follow what kind of other people are doing to a degree. I'm all up for giving advice and being safe and not, cutting your face off with a bowl gouge, for example.
Matt.
Yeah.
It was an angle grinder and it was my ankle.
Yeah, but have you had a bowl gouge?
Not yet.
Well, there you go. That's the reason why you still have a face.
Okay. Okay. Don't buy bowl gouges that destroy your faces. That's where we go. So no, I'm going to move on to the next one. Rosie is clearly under the influence of Jaffa Cake Marmite. And yeah, good people. Look at things, try things, don't be afraid to fuck up, and do research and read books. Sorry, books. I don't know what the fuck a book is, but never
That's
mind.
where my dad says books. Books.
Well,
it's from Reading. Books.
Reading. That's where I bought my lathe. My second Myford lathe, actually, was Reading from a scrapyard. Anyway, another story. Right. This is it. This is quite a good one. I enjoy this. I'm fucking terrible at it. So ELEPH, another good mate of mine on the old gram, and he asks, materials, do you keep a stock or order in for each project? I'm terrible at this. Rosie, what do you do? You working on something?
Well, I bought in stock for a project, but I also have stock for that project as well that I happen to acquire. So
Okay.
both.
Both. Okay. That's Matt. Are you a hoarder like me? Like save every bit.
I started being like, well, I've got a small workshop with pretty much no room for storing material, so I'll just order it in as and when I need something. The only issue with that was then when people found out I had a workshop, they would either buy material for me to make stuff for them, and by way of paying for it, or just by a good gesture, if they paid for it anyway, they would leave me some bits of stock that, you know, they originally gave me to make the job, and I'd have some left over. They say, "Oh, keep it, it's fine." And then when that happened, and then other people found out I had a workshop, they're like, "Oh." So like a good friend of mine, Simon Demery, randomly phoned me up, and he goes, "How do you fancy having some high quality mild steel for your workshop?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. How much do you want for it?" He goes, "Oh, nothing. I've got this from a job that I've been doing. It's basically all scrap. It was stuff we've taken out of an old machine and replaced. Do you want it?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." He goes, "Well, swing by mine tonight and you can pick it up." So swung by his, and it was 30 rollers from inside some sort of rolling machine. And they're all mild steel with splines on them. But they're about a meter and a half long. Yeah, so now I'm my workshop not only has got 4 machine tools in it, but it's now got a shitload of mild steel that I need to come up with an idea of something I can make with it. Either that, or try and sell it on. I don't know how I'm going to get through it all, but I accepted it. So now I've wound up with hoarding, essentially just a shitload of material.
Can send some up here.
Yeah. They're bloody heavy, though.
I get that.
Just bring it up with you when you come visit.
Oh yeah.
Scotland.
Well, we're supposed to be having a get together sometime soon, aren't we?
We need to work that out, don't we?
You really do.
Probably
Yeah.
do.
Yes. It'll be like this time next year. Oh yeah, we're going to meet up. We'll say this every week. Oh yeah, we're going to meet up. We're going to meet up, and then it'll be like next year, and we haven't done it yet. I think was it Maker Central in Birmingham?
Yes,
that's coming up soon.
Yes, it is. And
are there still tickets available for that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
but probably £25. I think they are.
I bought mine in 2020, and they're still valid. I fucking hope so.
Oh, they better be because of the whole COVID malarkey.
Yeah,
Central.
I mean, fair play to him for sticking to it and having a date, because I think they've rearranged it like 3-4 times. That's we're not a massive community. It's not like, I don't know, an agricultural show where it's got lots of money or something funded behind it. I mean, fucking hell. I think I could be wrong on this, but you guys probably don't know him, but I think it is ran and organised by Nick Zametti, which is a well-known wood turner that does a lot of resin stuff. I think it's his kind of venture, and if it is, then fair play to the bloke, because that is amazing.
See, I looked at like all the makers that are going, and I only know like Jimmy DeResta and Make Everything Workshop.
And Bob, is Bob going?
It is Nick Zametti.
We're all going quiet because we're now all looking for tickets on...
Sorry. Colin Furs, Bobby Duke. Love Bobby Duke. Amazing. I like to make stuff. Hi, I'm Bob, and I like to make stuff. Jimmy DeResta, Blackbeard Project. I met him. I think I met most of these.
Oh, I like Blackbeard Project. I watch his YouTube.
Yeah, Sufficiently Advanced, Modern Bills, The Samurai Carpenter, James Bruton, Barnaby Dixon. Fucking love Barnaby Dixon. He does the little model puppets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And they glow in the dark, and he dances with them and stuff.
Yes. Fucking, what a create. What the
fuck do you watch in your spare time? Little finger puppets. Well, send me the link. I'll see if I like finger puppets too.
It's fucking brilliant. He's one of those sort of people where you watch his videos and like, that's so fucking creative, and I've like made a purse today. So yeah, no, lots of people going. I will be going again, which is great. There's loads of really interesting people on here. I can't really read it because it's quite dark, but lots of people going. Materials. I've got to get back on track here. Materials. I am trying to be clever these days, and I am trying to standardise everything that comes into my workshop. So, if I want some box section, for example, I know that I've got 25 by 25 by 2 or 3 mil in stock because that's what I use for. If I need a bit of box section, I've got to make and design it with that size. If I need to make a handle, I know that I've got ash spindles for wood turning a ash handle because ash is great for handles. Bolts, I know I use all metric, and if I haven't, then I've got threaded rod to make into other stuff or bar to make into specialised bolts on a lathe. But that's all pretty much bullshit, I'll be honest, because it's a great sounding system, but I hoard everything. Bit of wood. Oh, yeah, keep that.
That's like me. See, when I'm like walking on the street, which is like never because I'm a fat lazy bastard, right? But if I do walk and I find a bit of metal will catch my eye, I'm like, oh, because I'm like a fucking magpie, and if I see a bit of metal on the street, I'm just like, yeah, I think I'll go pick that up and take it home, see what I can do with it, sort of thing. Like I've picked up loads of bits of aluminium and stuff like that, and I'm a fucking mink, basically.
You're effectively a pikey. Well, that's probably offensive.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You're a really
bit
great
of copper. That a new bathroom that's been fitted. Oh, there's a bit of copper in there.
I love skip diving. If it's in a skip, it's free game. I'm not having this.
I've not done that, but I've been tempted to. But then I'm like, will they come out and the people who have rented that skip, will they be shouting at me and stuff like that? And you know me, I'm just a wee lassie, and I'll probably cry or something if they shout at me. I'm joking.
I'm just shouting with like a borough accent, just some very Eastern European accent, and then just run off. Silly bastards.
Gonna go write that down.
Yeah. I can't say that. I shouldn't say that. I'm really, really sorry.
I went skip diving when I was
film.
It was at secondary school, and I found it was just a really nice leather covered box with a latch on the front, and
nice.
To this day, I took it home, opened it, and there was some sort of eyepiece thing, and then there was two metal slides, but with a glass inside bit, like a slot with glass in it, and you could turn them and move them in and out whilst looking through the eyepiece. To this day, I have no idea what it was for. My dad was like, "What do you want to keep that for?" And I think he ended up throwing it away because he just didn't see it. But I was obsessed with it because it had graduations on it, you could focus it, but I don't know what you would use it for.
Some sort of
seeing things.
Yeah, some sort of optical thing. I'm guessing it came out of the science lab at school, and they were just like, it's old hat, don't need it. But yeah, it looked like some sort of an attachment for a microscope was the only thing I could think of that it would be for. But yeah, but I've tried looking for something like it on the internet since.
It's a left phalange.
Yeah.
That's what it was, a left phalange.
Or, maybe some part of a flux capacitor or something.
Yeah. All right. No, that's fine. So yeah, materials. I'm bad for materials. I overbuy everything, or I underbuy everything. If I'm doing a project, I can't work shit out. I try. I write down pens and papers, and I do try my best. And I'm usually within plus or minus 20% of I've either overbought by 20% or underbought by 20%. I'm not great for that. I'll be fair. So the next question, this is hard, this is hard. And this is from James, another great James, which is, I don't know if I should mention his username or not. I don't want to upset people. I've done everybody else. It's James94. And it is, Rosie, this is directed to you because Matt has secretly walked off. It is the biggest engineering breakthrough for the machine shop in your lifetimes.
What's the biggest what?
The biggest engineering breakthrough for the machine shop in your lifetime.
Fuck knows.
This is like some shite that Chris Tarrant would ask you at the very last question.
That's a bit deep for a question, really.
Right, so Matt, it's over to you.
I have no idea how to answer that.
Matt.
What's the question?
Right, we're going to be here for half an hour with this one. It's James94 from the Yorkshire Workshop YouTube channel, which is good, growing, and going to have some great content coming out very shortly. The question is directed to you, Matt, which is the biggest engineering breakthrough for the machine shop in your lifetimes?
Searching the ceiling for an answer.
5-axis machining?
Has that not been out?
It was, but sorry, CNC 5-axis machining.
The
well, bearing in mind I'm a little bit older than you guys, so
yeah. Biggest engineering breakthrough for the machine shop in your lifetimes. And it's worth mentioning that let's open out all these questions to our listeners and viewers. So if you have got an answer for the biggest engineering breakthrough in machine shops in your lifetimes, what is it? Leave a comment and we'll mention you in the next video or audio or podcast. Matt, you've got to save this fucking thing. It's we're going off the rails here, Matt. Come on. Biggest engineering breakthrough.
And I'm just trying to confirm. Well, so are we talking like home machine shop or for machine shops and workshops in general? Because if we're talking about home machine shops, I think it's probably worth mentioning, because of things like 3D printing.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Because now you can do... Actually, I think 3D printing. Because if you think about it now, if you want a spanner, for example, up in the International Space Station, you don't have to send up a spanner now. You just send up a reel of, is it PLA or ABS or whatever?
PLA, yeah.
And they'll 3D print the equipment that they need up in space.
That's cool. Nice.
So now you don't have to take up cargoes, like cargo holds with loads and loads of different tools that are all awkward shapes. You just have a reel of meltable plastic, thermoplastic. Yeah, is that right?
I am going to say, and robot arms and KUKA and these manipulator arms have been out since the 60s for sure. But I would say I go around quite a few engineering workshops in my professional job, and I would say, and I know this for a fact, that as a country, as a United Kingdom, compared to Europe, we are quite far behind in automating processes within industry.
Really?
In fact, yeah, quite massively. Places like Belgium and the Netherlands have got a massive influx of skilled people without jobs because the level of automation that the companies out there invest in is massive. Whereas in the UK, we're kind of the other way. So we've got the average age of a welder fabricator in the UK is about 2 years ago, it was 55. So a skilled welder fabricator and a machine operator within the UK is 55, which is frightening. So 10 years time, the average age potentially is going to be 65. And of course, we've got a 20-year apprenticeship skill gap from the early 90s to around 2010, where apprenticeship schemes started to get a bit sexier.
Is that England or Scotland? Or the UK as a whole, sorry.
I believe that's the UK. But I'm more talking about sheet metal and fabrication.
Okay.
With my more professional industry, I'm going to go for. So where I'm kind of going with this is, I would say the acceptance to automate is where I'm going with this. So I'm not going to say it's a particular product, but I'm going to say the British and United Kingdom mentality, typically with investing in capital equipment, would be, you'd bang on the side of your 20-year-old Mazak machine and say, oh, look at this, it's bloody 30 years old and it's still going strong. You go over to somewhere like Germany and they'll be banging on the side of it after it's 5 years old, and they'll be saying, oh my God, this is 5 years old, this is old technology, we must adapt and we must, continue to kind of grow the business. So I'm going to say a change of mentality is something that I'm seeing in my professional career, which is very exciting. And we're becoming a more automated industry, and the government has helped a lot. And that is the most professional I have ever sounded on this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with my big grown-up talk, which is acceptance to automate and to understand it in a way.
So yours is aimed at workshops or machine shop working as a whole?
I'm going to say industry in general.
In industry, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say industry in general. There's things like machine tool manufacturers in the UK, and why there's no longer that many machine tool manufacturers than there were in the late 1950s, early 60s than they are now. There's loads of reasons, absolutely loads of reasons for sure.
Many political.
Many political. Culture, I think, is a big part of it. Way before my time, I was just a seed and a bollock at that time, for sure. So, way before my time. But, having said that now and what we're doing is wonderful, and we are moving forward to exciting things. Anything you want to add, Rosie?
Yeah.
Rosie, anything?
Yeah.
No? All right. Nope. That's me done. Did we do? No, we haven't. Right. This is the last question that we're going to talk about. And it is from someone I really, really love following in person. When he's not watching, I follow him. And he doesn't even know it. I secretly stalk him. He's just changed his curtains, which look very nice through a telescope. And this person is a doctor, actually. And his name is Dr. James from Molten Make. Amazing, content that he actually does. Again, another jack of all trades, but he's actually good. He's like good Marmite, if you know what I mean. Like everybody loves. He does some amazing stuff, and we will be leaving a link to everybody mentioned tonight, if I get permission, of course, from those people. So the question from the Instagram and YouTube channel Molten Make, which he's a doctor as well, so he's a maker and a doctor. He's so fucking clever, honestly. Yeah, making us all look bad, James. If someone who isn't a maker wanted to make something with you, what would you make? That's hard. It's fucking hard. See, it's hard.
It depends on who was making it with me.
When he's clever. Okay. How do we kind of mould this into something? If someone who isn't a maker wanted to make something with you, what would you make? And this is you personally. So I'm going to form his question in to Matt. I am a relative, and I'm around 15, 16, so I'm fairly young, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a family member. I really enjoy what you do. I follow you on Instagram. I want a bit. I want you to give me a little. Just give me the tip. Just let me feel the tip of your creativity.
Why would you do that when you've already said about being a relative when you're 15, 16?
Pretend I'm from Liverpool. Pretend I'm a Scouser. It's normal.
Oh, mate. There's just no coming back from that for me.
Quite literally. Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't mean it. Just give me this like a Okay, I'm young. Right, just I'm a relative. I'm kind of 16. I'm very moldable, very moldable.
Just stop digging.
Fuck. Okay, I am a young.
I'm having an existential crisis here, listening to this.
Oh, right, I am a.
Boys will be boys.
I love penis jokes.
No, clearly, to
Right,
take that
okay.
end bit off, you
Matt,
say
I
you
am
love
a young
penis.
person from the UK. I like what you say.
Fuck's sake.
Oh.
Okay.
For fuck's sake. Are you okay, hon?
Oh, how much of this are you going to edit out?
Oh, shit. We've lost 10 minutes. Okay. 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 Right. Hi, Matt.
Do you want to do a clap or anything?
No, it's fine. No, I've already got it. Okay. Right. I have clapped. Everybody's clap. Okay, so now we are talking. Okay, Rosie, just fucking take question. Okay.
So, if I was into wee boys, so if I had somebody that wanted to make something with me, you know what? I would go through some of my college stuff.
Yeah.
Nice, easy college stuff, and see if they wanted to make any of that. Because I have no imagination. So I have loads of drawings of these things from college. So, Matt, are you okay?
I can see you giggle. Okay. Okay, I'm done. Okay. Rosie, have you got any more?
Oh, I'm kind of giving up here.
Oh,
Okay.
James, you're gonna have to edit the shit out of this.
Fuck.
Leave it in. I'm
Right.
sure people would love to hear two grown men giggle at penis jokes for like a solid 3 minutes.
Right. Right. I am going to put my hand where Matt's face is and continue talking to him. I've got a banging headache now. I've lost a lot of fluids. Right. I have had this fairly recently, actually. Where? No, okay. I've had a friend.
Stop it. We got this.
Who is older than me, quite a bit older than me, and a mate who's 50 odd, really nice guy, and I do quite a bit of welding and fabricating stuff, and he came around saying, "Would you weld this together?" And I said, "Yes." It was just a gate, in essence. It was like a broken latch thing that was knackered, and we didn't want to buy a new one. So he said, "Can you please repair this, shot blast it, and then kind of tack it all up and weld it back together?" And I said, "No," is what I said to him, because he said to me, "Oh, I'd love to know how to weld." So I said, "Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to hold your hand, not in a weird way, not literally either." And he was 50 odd. I'd like to just put that out there. He was 50. It's legal, and he wanted to give it a go. So I thought, okay, I set him up. I set all the right settings on the welding table. Use a wide brush, clean it all up, degrease it, and we're just going to be MIGging
And sweep the
something
workshop
together.
while you're at it.
Yeah, pretty much. Put the kettle on. And no, so he was a much older guy, really, really skilled as a kind of wood turner that I know, and he's taught me a lot about wood turning. So just to kind of return the favour, I just said to him, "Look, here's a mask. I've got 2 masks. Stick that on. I'll do one half, and you do the other one." And he was like, "That was brilliant." Really nice, sharing a bit of knowledge, and he does the same with me. So I can't even remember the question. I'm going to be honest. Someone wanted to make it with you. What would you make? So that's not really the answer to the question, but I'm moulding it because I can't think of a good answer for that person. So I'm going to say, I would say if it was a completely new person that knows nothing, I'd make a tool because,
Of
for
yourself.
example, wood turning. Let's make a little dibber, for the garden. It's a nice, easy, quick, easy project. Do that. If it's welding or fabricating, we might make, I don't know, something for the garden. It looks like a bird, or like a knock it into the ground, or make like a tent peg, or something like that. A mooring rope holder for boats. Something like that. Something that they can go take away with them. And then tell their friends that they have made it and it is a functional tool. And when they use it, you're always reminded that, oh yeah, shit, I made that. And I like that. That gives me the best feeling, I think. Using a tool.
I'm trying to think of the stuff. So, as Rosie said earlier about using stuff from your apprenticeship, a lot of the stuff that I made at my apprenticeship was completely pointless. Like, we made a stub axle for our turning and lathe work. So that was... It taught you about threads and tapers and diameters and tolerancing and blah, 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 and turning between centres and stuff like that. But it wasn't useful. You couldn't go away with it and go, oh, yeah, this is what I made and used it.
Well, this thing is a thing that the drawing said it's a location pin, and it might not be good for anything, but it's good for fidgeting with. You can thread it and unthread it and whatever.
Oh, nice.
So just what we're looking at, or what I'm going to try and describe you to
is
ladies.
a thingy-mabob.
So you've got on there, so you've got some chamfering, so you've moved the top slide, you've got some internal threading, you've got some counter boring, you've got some knurling, is that? I can't...
Yeah, that's knurling across there. That's knurled as well.
See, I like that. I think that's great, but I'd say as a new maker or someone who's not...
I know.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not shitting on you, parader. Something that they can take away and use.
Well, this is the thing. So the only thing I could come up with off the top of my head is something to make, which was something I wanted to let my wife have a go at on the lathe. Was making like a Christmas. You can turn obviously diameters and whatnot, and you can make like a Christmas decoration on a lathe, like a little spindly brassy thing, and put a little cross hole in the end, and then you can put it on the tree. But usually, when people, as you said, like with your mate James, who's in his 50s, and he was like, "Oh, can you do this thing for me?" Usually, when people want to make something, it's something that they're interested in. For them personally. So usually, they come up with an idea that they want to do, and then, because I've had this before, where people who are particularly makery want to make something. And it is an issue with me, really, is when they say, "Oh yeah, I want to make this prop from a movie," and I watch this YouTube video, and they make it out of like plastic pipe and stuff like that, and EVA foam, and they heat it all up and glue it together and so on. I get that, and I understand that, but because that's not if you're talking in like artsy form, that's not the medium I work in, so I struggle to know, and I hate glue. So I struggle to know how I would struggle to know how to put that together. So I'd be like, nah, what you want is a proper bit of metal pipe, because then it would weigh like the real one does, even though the real one is still made out of plastic and just looks like metal. But I would want to make it out of metal. Like, for example, for any of those that follow The Mandalorian,
Yes.
I really want to make the spear. What's it called? Beskar steel spear. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Cool. It literally just left my brain as I was saying it. It's like, so yeah, I really want to make that, which I'll probably wind up using a lot of the mild steel for, to be honest. But yeah, so that's something on my makery list. But as for when other people come forward, like just to have a go on a lathe and have a little bit of a laugh. The first thing that I learned on a lathe, which was when my grandfather took me to see his mate Alan Rayner, who, bless him, left a lot of books to me. Like a few of my reference books that I've got came from Alan Rayner, who my understanding was he was instrumental in the invention, in the improvement of car seatbelts, randomly. But he taught me how to. We turned a rivet essentially, and then we drilled a hole through 2 pieces of metal, and then using a peen ball hammer. So there was an element of drilling or milling, if you like, turning, and then fabrication in terms of using the correct hammer to peen the end of the rivet over. But going back to what you said, James, really good for from a technical standpoint, but completely US as far as actually making a thing that does something.
Yeah,
I was going to say a pen, maybe, or like a pencil holder sort of thing.
A key ring. Yeah. Just a
Yeah.
key ring. Just something quick to get them out of your workshop.
Yeah. Could make like a little brass bead or something to put on a knife or whatever with a leather lanyard or whatever.
Yeah. But as Matt has kind of said, I do agree, as in I'd only kind of do something that I know that I could do to a decent standard. You know.
Well, you don't. Yeah, I mean, admittedly, when my little boy grows up and he's like, "Oh, we've got to make this thing for school," yeah, of course I'll make it out of plastic and cardboard and sticky tape and glue But if someone's coming to you for your skill set, and then they turn around and say that, I'm going to be like, it's just out of my wheelhouse. I wouldn't know where to start with that, really.
I'm going to make a bit of a controversial little question here. I've got some workmates. I'm not going to name, and actually from a previous job. Why do you do all that? Why have you got all that shite in your shed? You know, right? What are you doing with all that shit in there, right? And then about 6 months later, right, they'll come in and say, "James, you know all that kit you've got in your shed? You make me one of them." And I think just a little bit of a wave of smug comes about a little bit. It says, "You know what? Yes. Oh, yes. That shit in my shed can make that shit in your hand." Incredible. I don't say that to them because
Why not?
Internally, I'm a cock, but I think, I do like to help people as best as I can. But it happens more often than I thought it ever would.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of comment, can you make me one of these? I need a bush from my motorbike. Or, can you make me one of these bolts for this? Or can you wood turn me a handle for my nan's shovel? Or something like that. Can you just, that's it, can you just? And yes, I can.
I am looking forward
Barack
to
Obama.
We are the change we want to see in the world.
Yes. Yeah. You get a car. That's Oprah, isn't it? You get a car.
Funnily enough, today I had someone, because they were asking me about the pantograph when I got, obviously, I don't know when this is going out, but I obviously took receipt of the pantograph on Tuesday, and I was like, well, why do you want one of those? Why didn't you just buy a CNC
fucking knobs.
CNC router? And this ended up becoming a conversation, and then people said, well, sell it and buy a CNC router or whatever. And I was like, no. And it went back and forth, and I said, you're missing the point. It's the fact that it's a manual machine from literally decades ago, and
a copy and paste machine.
Essentially, yeah. and it's I know I'm going to find a use for it more than just having a giggle in the workshop. And I mean,
Like penis and
so
fancy brass.
my mate Matt
later.
came over and he was like, so I said, well, I think it's ready. I think we could probably have a go, like, writing something, like engraving something. And I said, what do you think we should engrave? Like, thinking, here we go. It's going to be some crass comment. He goes, well, it's got to be like Hex Manufacturing in it. And I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. Wasn't expecting that comment. He goes, or it could be something really filthy. And I was like, there we go. Back to how it ought to be.
There it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Two grown men in
so
a shed making a penis. Yeah, that's the way to go. That's the way to go.
But it was trying to justify to people why we have this old manual shit in the workshop, or in our garages at home, is a tough one, as you say, James. Right up until someone goes, could you make this for us?
Yeah.
Can you just?
Yeah, I might get T-shirts making that. Can you just? Yeah. Can you just?
That's a really good idea. I like that idea.
Dear.
UK Makers Podcast, on the back, can you just... ...
Right, this is going to be the title of this. Can you just ... answer these questions? I think that's going to be the one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Done.
That is the end of my questions. Rosie, Matt, have you got anything to ask or any more? Because we've got to an hour and 1 minute.
I've got a question.
Go, Rosie.
Where do babies come from?
This has been the UK Makers episode 6, where I'm going to say that Matt and Rosie has been very immature, very, very, very immature, and I do apologise on their behalf of how giggly and unprofessional they have both been. And we were.
You're saying this like you're going to keep all that laughing in that lasted like 40 minutes.
This has been the UK Makers Podcast. We have been Matt, Rosie, and James. Thank you for all your submissions of questions. It's been great. We are really enjoying this, and we look forward to episode 7. Any questions, of course, send them. Keep them to yourself, as Rosie has quite rightly put. But no, thank you for everybody's ongoing support. We are blossoming into a very small flower, but a flower that will grow into a much larger flower. And I'm working with children. I'm not actually working with children. We are all of the age where this is
Don't say the word that I think you're going to say.
This has been the UK Makers Podcast. Thank you so much for watching. You will hear our lovely tones in the episode 7, where we might bring a guest if they'll come. Fuck's sake. I'm ending it now. Thank you very much.
I'm so sorry.